Hello again. Thank you guys for tuning in for another week of whatever I have on offer this week. I'm actually pretty excited about this week because this concept is something that really is going to help unlock the fingerboard for all of you and light up all the spots that you can play in a given key. And what we're going to be talking about is something called diatonic chords, diatonic triads to be specific. So these are 3-note chords. And diatonic just means part of the key. I know those are $10 words, but that's all that means, right? So we're going to be working within the key of G. Surprise, surprise. And essentially what we're going to be doing is we're going to be following the G scale up the neck on 3 strings at the same time, right? So G, just a G scale, we have G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, and then finally back to G, right? And when we play these 3 open strings here, that's going to be a root position chord, right? Because our lowest note in that is going to be G, followed by our 3rd, followed by our 5th. So G, B, D. So we can just follow the notes of a G scale up all of these 3 strings, right? So that means B, we're going to have B, C, D, E, F sharp, G, A, B. And then on that first string, we're going to have D, D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C, finally ending at D there. So how that's going to sound together is a little bit like this, right? So let's name those chords, right? They're all root position, so we're going to have G major. That's an A minor, B minor, C major, D major, E minor, this is a bit of a weird one, F sharp diminished, and then we're back to G major. The cool thing about this is that the chord qualities of your diatonic triads are set in stone. So what I mean by that is when we're in a major key, our 1 will always be major, 2 is always going to be minor. 3 will always be minor as well. Then we have 4, our C, is major. 5 is major. 6 is always going to be minor. And that 7th scale degree, always going to be diminished. Don't let that one scare you off though. That actually doesn't really show up that much in nature. Anyway, these chord shapes, like everything else, once we get to the 12th fret, it just recycles itself, right? So we got G, A minor, B minor, C, D, E minor. We can almost squeeze that F sharp diminished in there. And then we have our, finally, just our octave up root position G chord, right? So let's take that a step further, right? Let's go up the next inversion. So our first inversion on these top 3 strings, the next one up is going to be kind of looking like a part of your root position chord, right? We're just working with the top 3 strings. But this is going to be first inversion because our lowest string is going to be that B, or our 3rd. And we have D, and then we have G on top now, right? Same chords, same quality, a little bit different shape, but it's all going to be within our key. So G, A minor, B minor, C, D, E minor, F sharp diminished, back up to our G, right? All right, let's take it even one step further, right? So our second inversion chord is going to look a lot like it's coming out of our first inversion chord that we learned, but it's just the top 3 strings, right? So we have D, G, now B on top. G minor, or sorry, G major. You got A minor, B minor, C major, D major, E minor, F sharp F sharp diminished, and G. So again, all of those shapes will recycle themselves. So you have quite a few different ways to play different chord qualities up and down the neck. And you'll find that once you get comfortable with these shapes, you're going to be making the connections between what are my closest chords in a given song, right? If I want to do go from a G to an E minor, a 1 to our 6 minor. Very common in a lot of bluegrass stuff. Only one of those fingers has to change, right? We can take this shape here, this D-shaped G chord, and just bring that D up to E. And there's our 6 minor. You don't have to go from, you know, G all the way down to our root position 6 minor chord, although sometimes you might choose to, right? But it's nice to have options. Instead of doing this, we can go one finger changes and you have a 6 minor chord. Isn't that pretty cool? Now if you want to go from let's say 1 to 4, right? We don't have to go necessarily from this shape directly to this one. We can also go. So what these shapes are going to do for you is it's drastically going to open up your ability to make choices when you're moving around the neck. It's also going to give you a way to just map out the neck and know which notes are part of your key, right? Between all of these different shapes, you are mapping out all the different spots that you can find a note within the key of G major. Now if you take this and move it into like C and D, you're going to be sitting pretty for the next jam. That's pretty much all I have today. I'm going to have some tabs on my website that will help you kind of visualize what I'm jabbering on about here. But I hope this was of some use to you. Let me know if you have any questions or want to see something different in the future. Let me know down in that comment section. If you did like this, I'd appreciate you hitting that like button. And if you've been watching this stuff and you've been enjoying it, consider hitting that subscribe button and then hit the bell icon so that you know when I'm dropping a new video. Otherwise, thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.